What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hambone Fishing. Today is a little bit different because usually I will do a pre-fishing video and then I will do a video about the tournament day. However, pre-fishing was pretty boring. Let's get into it. All right, so pre-fishing. I went out Thursday before and it was really boring. I'm not gonna go through the whole video. There was not enough to make a video on it, so I'm just gonna save you guys that. But check out this footage from my day, and this kind of sums it up. Again, practice sucked. Cue turning day. First time ever I have not been in the water when launch started. For some reason, I got in my head that launch was at 6:30. It was at 6. But there was a warming trend. I think this was, again, the pre-fishing was on a Thursday, tournament on a Sunday. The water temp was about 62. We started in the pitch black and I made a couple casts, moved through some areas, and then I got my first bite pretty early in the morning. Check it out. That's where you start. That's the way you start a tournament right there. Go guys, 18 3/4. That's the way you start a tournament. On the sassy stick, baby. So that fish was on a BizBait sassy stick. You can see it here. This was not the same color that I used, but it's just their stick bait. Also, I throw this on an EWG hook. I do not like your quote unquote wacky rig hooks. They are terrible. Funny enough, I talked to another guy after the tournament who actually took second in the tournament, and he doesn't like them either. He uses a big, essentially what looks like a trailer hook with a weed guard on it. I need to find some that have a weed guard. This EWG hook, I don't lose fish. I don't feel like I get any less bites on it. I would highly suggest giving this a shot. Again, EWG hook, O-ring, sassy stick. But after that bite, I thought for sure I started the day with like an 18 3/4. I was like, yes, sir, here we go. I'm gonna be on them. They're doing what I want them to do. They've moved up. The bite's only gonna get better as the day goes on. It did not get better. It did not get better at all. I spent the rest of the day throwing the sassy stick, throwing a shimmy jig, essentially a chatterbait from True South Custom Lures. I threw a drop shot. I threw a shaky head. I threw, what else did I throw? A jig, threw a Texas rig. I'm not sure there's anything else that I threw. But anyway, here's a little bit of that footage. I don't have a choice now. I'm an idiot. Oh, and I did catch a 7-inch bass, which is absolutely tiny, and that is in the footage here. Oh, I wish I was in small bass. So, at about 2:30 in the afternoon, I had been fishing hard all day long. I did not give up. I wasn't in a bad mindset. I just couldn't get any bites. I was fishing some of the juiciest looking things for this time of year that I could possibly find. Again, I'm not great at bed fishing. Hindsight 2020, they were on beds. As the day went on, like probably 1:30, 2 o'clock, they really started to get on beds. The wind kind of died down. I should have been in the backs of pockets, standing up, paddling, moving around, trying to find beds. But I didn't. That was a big factor in how I finished. So, Q, 2:30. In a desperation attempt to try to find a couple more bites, because I already had a good fish. I already had a 18 3/4. Picked up my True South Custom Lures A-rig. These are Armor Shads, and I think this is just a Kitech, and these are just the True South Custom Lure Darters. I picked up an A-rig and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna troll this around because I literally have no idea other than that. And so I picked it up and started trolling, and then this happened. Course. All right, 18 and a half.
on the A-rig. Bottom of the night.
Then I kind of went back the area that I was trolling, and I noticed that there were some pockets of bait, some bait balls. Let's troll this thing until we're done. Cue this guy.
Full venture, that'll work. One more and I'll have a limit.
So I'm sitting here one fish away from a limit, and it is 3 o'clock. Yeah, last fish picture had to be taken by 3:30. So I'm thinking, oh sweet, half hour. I've got a half an hour to find one more 12-inch fish at least. It didn't happen. It did not happen. I could not get that last bite, and it drove me nuts. So I finished the day with an 18 3/4, an 18 1/2, and a 12. And I'm sitting here thinking, great, I'm gonna finish in like the 40, 50, and 50 spot. It's gonna be a terrible points event. It's probably gonna be a drop at the end of the year. And then I saw the standings. I finished in 21st. There were 20 limits caught. 20 limits. Had I picked up a 12-inch fish, I'd have been in 13th place. If I'd have caught a 14-inch fish, I'd have cashed in the event. So you can kind of see how important that limit fish is, and how disappointed I am that I couldn't find it. One fish away. But that's just fishing, you know? I mean, that's the kind of thing that happens. I guess if I would have had that mentality of, oh my God, I need a bite, and picked up the A-rig a little bit sooner, then maybe I would have found that fish. The AOI standings, I'm in 9th place after what, 4 events? Because this is the 4th event, which obviously all changes when the drops come into play, because there's a lot of guys that either skunked on a day or missed a day. Those point standings are going to change big time once the drops come into play. We fish 9 events, you keep your top 7, and that gets you into the TOC. So that's where we're at. You know, looking forward to the next event, which is actually pretty cool. Our trail is too big for one of the local lakes here, so they kind of opened it up so we can fish Lake Norman, Mountain Island Lake, or Lake Wiley. You get to pick all day. We're extending the hours of the tournament as well. It should be great. Fortunately for kayak anglers, because we don't have to meet up and congregate for a weigh-in, we have the ability to still fish tournaments and, you know, compete with everything going on with COVID-19 and the quarantines and all that jazz. So looking forward to that one. I don't know which lake I'm going to fish yet. I should have plenty of time to pre-fish all of that. So that's all I got. You know, it was a good event. I can't, you know, finishing 21st with only 3 fish is not a bad event. I can't complain about that. You know, gotta really buckle down and try to get another top 15 finish just to keep myself in that top 10, top 15 for the AOI. But again, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you have not already, and share the video with a friend if you want. This is Graham with Hambone Fishing. See you next time.